from Tennessee, member of the Judiciary, Armed Services, Commerce, and Science and Transportation Committees. She also, along with Senator Martha McSally of Arizona, will introduce the Stop China-Originated Viral Infectious Diseases Act. That's designed to allow Americans to sue the Chinese Communist Party over the coronavirus. Senator Blackburn, we appreciate you taking some time to be with us tonight. Specifically, what is it that China has done regarding the virus that you think they should be sued for?
One of the things we know is that China has made this situation worse. And here is what we do know. We know that this virus came from the lab, that there were 3,000 cases before China did anything on this. Then they locked people in their apartments. They knew for weeks they had an outbreak on their hand. President Xi knew that this was going to adversely impact them. So they let people travel out of China, but did not let people from Wuhan travel inside of China. We also know that they could have taken an action. They chose to sit silent. They have not allowed our CDC scientists into that Wuhan lab even yet. And because of that, Rep. Gooden and Senator McSally and I think the thing to do is to allow Americans to sue the Chinese Communist Party, and that is what the Stop COVID Act is all about. We would give them the power in U.S. court. This all has to do with the Foreign Sovereignties Immunities Act. And, John, what we would like for them to be able to do is say, look, we lost life, we lost livelihood, this adversely impacted us. Therefore, we are going to file this lawsuit and move it forward.
On a practical level, though, hundreds of millions of Americans have been affected. If you allow each of them to sue the Chinese Communist Party, you're tying up the federal courts for years, aren't you?
You could say, well, there's always going to be a downside and an upside. The upside is people that have lost life and livelihood, they do need to hold the Chinese Communist Party responsible. Our government is looking at ways to hold them responsible. Some of us have said China owns over $1 trillion worth of our debt. They hold that debt. So therefore, they should waive the payments when that comes due to them. There are many ways we can do this. Going forward, returning manufacturing to the U.S., bringing our pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the U.S. And, John, you're going to see an aggressive move by members in the Senate to find ways to hold China accountable. China knew they had a problem. They lied about it. They hid the information. They still will not let our scientists inside that lab. And there have been problems with that lab for years. So because of this, China does need to be held to account.
Senator, we noted that you and Arizona Senator Martha McSally are co-sponsoring this legislation, but you're both Republicans. Your fellow Republican, Lindsey Graham, says you got to get Democrats on board. Listen to what he had to say.
Where is the Democratic Party? Don't give China a pass. Hold China accountable for killing over 60,000 Americans and having 30 million people lose their job. They're absolutely AWOL when it comes to China accountability. So none of this matters unless you can get Democrats involved.
Senator, are you finding Democrats receptive to your legislation?
John, I've got to tell you, the more Democrats talk to their constituents in their respective states, I think they're going to find that people want China to be held to account. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. People know this has happened because of lax standards there in Wuhan. This got away from them. They lied about it. They tried to hide it. And they want China to be held accountable for this. They want the World Health Organization that was flying some cover for China to be held accountable for this. But I hear from people every single day who come from all walks of life, of different political persuasions, And they tell me repeatedly China needs to be held to account. And they don't want it to be a single shot action. This is why they're saying, let's bring our manufacturing back. Let's make our economy healthier. Let's grow jobs in the United States. And President Trump has done a superb job of raising the issue of China. He did that during the campaign. He is continuing to do it as we address COVID-19.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, we wish you well as you go back to work tomorrow, and we will keep an eye on this legislation. Thank you, Senator.